Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mare and I am SinCity_cross-stitcher here on Flosstube and on Instagram. Today is Monday, April 28th, and this is Flosstube number 21. I don't normally film on Mondays, but I had the day off and it's been a while since I've been here. No particular reason, just been very busy, life. I'm sure you all understand how that goes. Um, I have the day off today. I had the next 3 days off. My sister was supposed to come visit, but she had to cancel, so I decided just to keep today and tomorrow as days off so that I can get things done and I'll go back to work on Monday. I am in a new location. I'm in my dining room at my dining room table because I have a lot since it's been my last Flosstube, I think was April 2nd, Wednesday. So it's almost been 4 weeks since my last video. So I do have a lot to share and it's taking up my entire dining room table. I thought it would be better just for me to get better organized and be able to spread out everything. So that's why I'm filming here. So I'm hoping that the lighting is okay. It is darker down here because this is the back of my house and we have like a covered patio, so not a whole lot of sunshine gets in. But I do have the ring light on, so I'm hoping that the lighting will be okay. Um, so I guess I'll just jump right in because I have a lot. I'm going to start with the previous FFOs. These are all Easter themed. I know Easter was a week ago, so hopefully you're not all sick and tired of seeing bunnies. But um, this one is, I think this was a freebie, and it's very, very simple. It's on egg printed Ada fabric, and it just says Happy Easter. And I stitched this with a variegated a Wicked Stepmother floss. I think it was called Springtime that I had purchased a couple of years ago. And then it's one of those frames with like the little thingy that pops in the hole to let it stand up. And then I just painted these little wooden eggs. I probably got a one of the craft stores, Dollar Tree maybe. And actually the frame came with this bunny on it, this one right here, and I just stuck that little one on there, and just very simple. And then my next one, this is also a freebie. This was from Lindy Stitches, and it's called Peter's Day Out. And it was stitched on, I think it's a 14 count. Again, I think this was a printed Ada. You can see there's a little variegation in the fabric down there. I believe I used all the called for colors. This was several years ago. 2022 is when I fully finished it. That's the backing fabric. So he's really cute. And then this is just some carrot ribbon I had purchased somewhere. Joann's maybe? Let's see, my next one is, this is from Helen D. It's one of her freebies. You can find it. She's East Coast Crafter on Instagram. So if you go to her link tree, she has a link to all of her freebies. She has a lot with the words. So again, this one, I think I just chose my own colors. And I just made it, I think these actually are all a Wicked Stepmother variegated flosses. And I did like a purple for the Easter Bunny, and then, the word Easter Bunny. I chose the green, and I don't have the colors down here, so I can't tell you exactly what they are, but you can find a Wicked Stepmother on Etsy. They don't usually have a huge selection. They only dye a few at a time. And I'm actually not even sure if they're still in business. I remember at one point she was trying to sell her business. I don't know if she was able to do that or not, but I haven't checked the website in quite a while, or the Etsy shop in a while. But this is on some vintage fabric that I had. And yeah, just did a little bow. And again, this one was 2022. This one was another freebie, and I apologize, I do not remember who designed it. But if you want to know, I can figure it out. This was on a coffee tea dyed fabric that I did myself. It's a 14 count Ada. This is so cute. I love this one. Little chick and the carrots. And then this is the fabric. I think I might unpick this and put more stuffing in it. It needs more stuffing. I think this was in the early days when I was just learning how to finish things other than framing, because back in the 90s all you really did was frames and not a whole lot of other type finishes. I guess I did do some pillows, but yeah, this one just needs to be stuffed some more. And it's interesting to see over the years how my fully finishing skills have evolved and gotten a little better. These are I did these in 2023, so this was again a freebie, and I want to say it's from Whilst Iris Naps. And I just really love how this one came out. I love my finishing on this one. Again, there's that carrot ribbon, and then the carrot backing, and I'm not sure what fabric this is on. It might be, it's a Lugana, probably a 28 count. So there's that one, and then I also did the bunnies. We got the bunny ribbon, the same fabric on the front and the back, and just orange rickrack around. So I did these in 2023, I think. So those are all of my previous fully finished items, and now I can pack those away. I have 3 current fully finishes, and I will share that with you in just a second. Okay, so I have 3 current fully finishes. I almost had 0, but I went to UFO Club at Silver State Stitch Shop on Saturday, and I always get inspired and motivated. I really have not been motivated for months to do any fully finishing, but I always get motivated and inspired after I go to the UFO Club, because everybody brings in all of their fully finishes, and then it's like, yeah, I really need to get going on mine. So I did, yesterday I spent good chunk of the afternoon fully finishing, and the first one I'm going to share is this ink circles pattern that was a exclusive for the Pacific Stitching Retreat that I went to at the end of February, beginning of March. I stitched this at the retreat. I'm pretty sure I showed it as a finished object a few videos ago, and I just got around to fully finishing it on this little box. So I think I tried to be fancy and do a little bow with the extra chenille trim that I had, but I think I might cut that off and just, yeah. But this was a box that I had thrifted. It's really cool. It opens sideways like that. I don't know that this is terribly old. It says it's from Threshold, which I think is Walmart's, possibly. It says 116, so I'm guessing that maybe that is from 2016. But it was perfect size for this little finish. So I'm very happy with that. This is just some chenille yarn that I had that I used as the trim, and it matched the floss. The floss and the fabric were both dyed by Live and Dye LA, Valerie Parker, and they were in our goodie bag from the retreat. And I just stitched it at the retreat and fully finished it. But again, I think I'm going to cut that off. So that's that one. I do have 2 more fully finishes, but I am going to, they're part of Springo, so I will show you those as I get to them. It's early in the morning. It's like 9 a.m. It's earlier than I usually film, so I'm still drinking my coffee, but this is in my little pig out mug. I've had this mug since 1986, so a long time, and they don't make mugs like they used to, right? This mug, there's no chips on it. I've had it for, what is that, 40 years? There's no chips on it. There's no, it doesn't fade in the dishwasher. It's still in excellent condition. I'm telling you, they don't make mugs like they used to. Okay, Springo. So Springo, it is a challenge that is put on by the Magazine Monthly Challenge Group on Flosstube, Carolyn Cezuk Stitch, and Robin Baker of Bird's Eye Stitches. They run the group, and they usually do a challenge in January, like a bingo type challenge in January and September, and this is the first year that they've done Springo. And basically what it is you pick one project for each letter. So each letter of Springo. So like you pick a project for the S, the P, the R, I, and G, O. And then your bingo board is going to have 35 numbers in it. And you can randomize it. I was lazy and I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then down 16, 17. Because yeah, that was just easiest for me. But so then they call one number a day for 25 days. So even though you have 35 numbers on your board, only 25 numbers will get called. So you won't necessarily get a bingo, because there are going to be 10 numbers that are not called. And some projects you might get called 5 days, some might get called 4, 3, 2, 1, some might not get called at all, which is kind of rare, but it happens. So for the S in Springo, I chose Summer Quaker by Lila's Studio, and that one was actually called 5 times, so I did get a bingo. That's the only project that was called 5 times, which worked out really great because it was part of my 5x5 for April, which meant like I have to work 5 days on it. And so it worked out perfectly because it was called 5 times on my Springo board. But here's the chart. I started this for my birthday in, I think, 2023. This was my birthday start. And this is where I'm at on that one. So for 5 days, you're probably thinking, well, you didn't get much progress, which is correct. What I did do was I finished this motif. I got in this little shark guy, this little motif, the fish, and I started on this one. I'm not sure if I extended this border or not. And then I worked on the ship. I think I did a little bit here with the lighthouse also, but I worked on the ship sails. And I started here and I stitched over this way, and then I started stitching over this way, and then by the time I got down here, I realized that I was off somehow. And it turns out that this one I made like 1 column. Instead of like 7 across, I did 8 across. So then that made all the rest of them off. So I spent at least one of those 5 stitching days ripping out and then restitching. So I did not make as much progress over 5 days as I should have, but I still made some progress. So I absolutely love this. I love this project so much. This is on Live and Die LA 20 count Malt of the Earth, and I am using all of the called for DMCs on this one. So just chipping away on it a little at a time. It will be finished. It's not going to get done this year, but it will be finished eventually. And it's in my Patchwork and Poppies bag. I love this bag. I love all of her bags. I say it all the time. So that was the S in Springo. And then the P was Spring Parade 2, the artichoke car. It's way at the other end of the table. Okay, I thought I was being more organized, and I should have set everything up like in a row, but anyway. So this is the pattern, and I had stitched, I think in 2022, I stitched this one, 2023, 2024, and then this year I stitched this one. So this was the P in Springo. This was called 4 times, and 4 times was enough for me to finish it. So that is the artichoke car. And this is on I think it's a 25 count even weave. I don't know the maker. I don't think it's Weigar. I don't see an orange line on it, but I don't know. Maybe it was on the other side. I don't know. But I got this fabric from a lot of fabric that I got from an antique store. But this is all of them. I'm going to cut these out, and I was hoping to find a frame that had like 4 slots in it, but I'm still on the search. I think I have an idea now of what I'm going to do with these, but hopefully I'll have them fully finished for you to see next time. But I love these. These are a lot of fun, and because it's a 25 count, it was just so easy to stitch on. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with set 1 next year, or just, I probably will just stop here. So then the R in Springo was Rabbit Run. That was called 4 times, but I actually only stitched on it 3 times. This is the pattern. I still have 1 more day, so I'm hoping today, later this afternoon, after I film this video, I have a ton of errands that I need to do. I have to go to Costco and Aldi. We just got a new Aldi here. We've never had one here before. So I used to shop at Aldi when we lived in Virginia, and I haven't stepped inside one in 15 years because we don't have them here in the Las Vegas Valley, but we just got one last week. So I'm going to go check it out after I film this video and see if it's as good as I remember. And I got to go to Costco, and I got to go to Joann Fabrics, so I can, they're closing soon. I want to say in May. I'm not sure exactly, but I do want to go and check them out one last time just as a final goodbye. I'm so sad that it was one of my favorite places to shop. But here's my progress on Rabbit Run. So this is a 28 count, I think it's a Monaco, Charles Craft. Yeah, it's a, no, it's a Carolina linen. And this is my progress. So I think last year I had stitched this part, and then this year I put in the flower pot, and then I started on the second motif, the chickens. So this one is very slow because I'm stitching it 1 over 1, and so it goes very slow. It's a little difficult to see, but I have 1 more day to stitch on this, so I'm hoping this afternoon after I run my errands, and then after I take my son to school, I will have time to sit on the porch and get some stitching done on this one so that I can finish my last Springo call, because it was called 4 times and I only stitched on it 3 times. Okay, so then for the eye, my project was The Language of Flowers by The Blue Flower, and the reason I put it under the eye is because, if you remember, I was extremely indecisive about whether or not I wanted to finish it. It was stitched on, here's the pattern. I was stitching it on a 16 count Aida using 1 strand of floss because 2 strands was too tight, but I felt like 1 strand wasn't enough coverage. It was very, very, I don't know, faint, light. Just wasn't popping off the fabric. It wasn't bright enough. So I had taken it off my WIP list and basically UFO'd it, and then I was like, I kept going back and forth. So then I put it back on the WIP list, and I said, you know what, you're either going to finish it or you're not. So it got called on Springo. It got called 3 times. So the first time that it got called, I pulled it out, and I was like, you know what, I'm still indecisive about this, and this indecision has been going on for so long that I think I'm just gonna quit, because I couldn't make a decision. So I think I was telling myself that just means you're done. So what I did was I had all of this done, and I had some of the words, so I ended up ripping out the words, and then I fully finished it yesterday as is. So it's just on a wooden block. I got this at a thrift store for 50 cents, and I'm really happy with how it came out. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty faint, but I think that the yellow rickrack kind of helps to make it stand out more. And then there was this empty space up here, so I had a butterfly button. I just stuck it on there. So yeah, this was 16 count Be Stitch Me. I forgot what color it was, but I'm happy. I'm very happy with my decision to UFO it, stop where I was, and I'm happy with how the final product came out. Whether I will restitch this later on at some point, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but for now, it's done. And I'm considering it a fully finish. So that was under the eye. And it was called 3 times. However, after the first call, that's when I decided. So I spent that first call just unripping all of the letters. That's how that's what I did for the first Springo call. I ripped out all the lettering, and then that letter was called 2 more times. So what I did was I chose a different project to put under there for the remaining calls, and that project was Topsy Turvy Tea by Counting Puddles, because it's on a grape ice linen, so ice is how it fit in with the letter I. And here is the pattern. So this was one of the tea time pieces, just like the Night Garden, where a ton of designers stitch something using a specific color palette. This one was, they had to use Treenway silks to design with. And let's see, show you the silks. These are the silks. I think there's one more. Yeah. So these are the silks. And this is my progress. So this was called 2 more times. So for Springo, you have to stitch on something. Oh my goodness. We'll just ignore that. I don't even know what that was. I don't know what that was. Something that my husband and my son were doing. Wow, that's embarrassing. So this, for Springo, you have to stitch on it like 1 hour or 100 stitches. And normally for the Springo calls, I just use that as my stitch for the whole night. So I tend to get more than 100 stitches in it. But this one, I took this with me on Saturday to stitch this UFO club at Silver State Stitch Shop, and she has really good lighting in there. Normally I can only stitch on this one outside because it's linen, and I have a really hard time seeing the holes in this. Even though it's a very loose weave, I still struggle with it. So, but Jessica has very good lighting in there, and I knew I would be able to see this no problem. So I brought it with me, and I filled in a lot of the green, um, like the little flowers in there, and then I put in a lot of the white. Um, yeah, my stitching is not the best. It's really hard for me to stitch on this one, but I'm making good progress. Um, I just have the rest of the cup, the tea bag, and hopefully a couple more stitching sessions and I will have that done. And this is in my bag from Allison of Mrs. AZ Family Zoo. You can find project bags in her Etsy shop. Okay, next up on Springo is the letter N for New Start. So originally I had Red Bunny Sampler. If you remember from my last video, I shared that I was planning on starting that one, and I had chosen a couple of my own colors. Instead of doing red, I thought I would try to choose my own colors and see how that worked out. Unfortunately, the N was not called until day 18, so the new start it was almost 3 weeks before that was called. And by that time, I had signed up for Lindy Stitch's Spring Mingle, and I signed up for Kathy Haberman's class. And so this is the pattern. I'm sure you've seen this, called This Bee's Got Knees. And when you purchase the class, you get the pattern, and she will teach you how to put it together during the class. So instead of starting Red Bunny Sampler, I decided to start this one as my new start in Springo, and it was only called twice. So I haven't gotten a whole ton of progress on it yet, but this is as far as I've gotten on that. This is a 32 count Be Stitch Me fabric by Be Stitch Me called Willow. And I'm not a huge fan of stitching on 32 count. I was watching Pam and Steph yesterday, and they were saying how, they like to stitch when you can actually see the X, and that's how I am as well. And for me, on 32 count, 2 strands is pretty tight, and you can see the X's, but I just have a really hard time getting them neat and uniform. Even though I do railroad my stitches, I still have trouble on 32 count getting them to look decent. So I do prefer, for that reason, I do prefer stitching on like a 28 count with 2 strands or 20 count with 1 strand. But I was working on this one last night, and I was getting really frustrated because I couldn't get my stitches, like the white especially, I just couldn't get them looking too great. So I stopped in the middle of this motif right here. But again, hopefully I have tomorrow off as well. I'm hoping I can get some outdoor stitching time, and that will help me see it better and get my stitches a little nicer. It might actually be time for me to get some better magnification. I do use readers, which help me. Like I think they're 2.5. The strength is 2.5, but I might actually need some extra magnification. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but hopefully I can get some more stitching on this. I don't think I'm going to get this one done by the class. The class is this weekend on Saturday, and this motif repeats 3 more times, and then you've got these leaves all around and some other stuff. So I'm probably not going to get it done in time by the class, but at least I can get as much done as I can, and then I can sit in on the class. And the class is going to be recorded, and it will be available for 30 days after the spring mingle. So I am hoping that I can get this done in May. But if not, hopefully the class, I'm thinking it seems like it's going to be easy enough. I mean, it's probably similar to like how you would put a biscornu together. It's just a slightly different shape. So that is These Got Knees by Hands On Design. And I have it in one of these bags. I run out of, I really like these because I can kit things up and then just hang them in my closet like this. But I'm also running low on, like, handmade project bags. So I just put it in that one. So then that was the end. So that got called twice. And then the G was Tulip Bunny, which is this pattern that I got from Etsy by Samplers and Stitches. Oops, here's the pattern. This one was called 4 Times. And I put it under G because I was stitching it on a mint green fabric. So 4 days was enough for me to finish this. And here she is. So this one, so this was my 3D finish for April. If you've been following me, you know that in 2025, I am challenging myself to do a different 3D finish every month. So in September, I did a couple of strawberries. February, I did the biscornu. March, I did the funky chicken. And this is April. So I originally had wanted to make her into like a shaped stand-up, like the Animal Crackers by Stacy Nash are. They're kind of shaped around. And I sewed it that way, and then I couldn't, it just, it was bad. And I couldn't even get the ears to, like, I was turning it inside out and I couldn't get the ears to pop out. So I unstitched it, and unfortunately I had cut a lot of the bulk away. So when I unstitched it, I was left with just this like thin stitched piece, and there was like a chunk, kind of a triangle chunk out of the bottom also. So I kept staring at this for like 15 minutes, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I can't finish this into anything else because there's like hardly any extra space around it. So I finally decided I'm just going to make it into like one of those rounded top finishes that Vonna Pfeiffer does and Helen D does. Of course, you can see it's not quite rounded. It ended up being more rectangle, but it is what it is. I mean, she's still cute. It's a bit wonky. Here's the bottom, and the backing fabric has cute little bunnies on it. It's not perfect, but she stands up. You probably can't see, but she does stand up, and she's cute. I love this pattern. I love this bunny. I thought she was so, so cute. So the whole pattern, you can see there's extra stuff on the sides here, and I just stitched the bunny because I wanted to make her into a stand-up. So she didn't come out exactly as I had planned, but that's okay. She's still, I can still display her, and she's still fine. So that was the G in Springo. And then for the O, my project was Spring Folk by Hands On Design. Here's the pattern, and this was called 3 Times. So I was really hoping to get this one done this month, but 3 calls wasn't quite enough for me to get it finished. But I still made some decent progress. This is on Bestitch Me 28 count. Oh, I'm sorry, 32 count. Not another sampler. And this is where I'm at. So I think the last time I showed it, I had the N through S stitched. So in the 3 days since, I stitched everything below that. The bunnies are white and they're a little bit ghosty. I was considering maybe stitching them in a different color, but it's fine. Yeah, These are, I guess there's no specialty stitches. I didn't do any, well, I guess whatever this is here under there, but yeah, I really, really love this project, and it's almost done. I just have, there's some specialty stitches down underneath, like right here. I don't know what those are called. And then the last row of the alphabet, and another flower and another bunny, and it will be done. So hopefully a couple more stitching sessions and I should have this one completed. So I am really enjoying this one, even though it's on 32 count. It's actually not too bad, except for the white bunnies. Those aren't the best stitching, but it's all right. And these are all the flosses. They're so pretty. All the spring colors. And then that is being held in this butterfly bag that I made myself. So that was it for Springo. I actually kept up with it. Lately I have been having a hard time. Like I think in January it was AB Singo is in September. Baringo. I don't think I completely finished it, but I kept up with this one pretty well. I just have to do one more day on Rabbit Run, and then I'll have completed Springo. And the good thing about that is, there's only 25 calls in the month, and then they give you the rest of the month to catch up on things that if you had a day where you couldn't stitch and you missed something, you get an extra 5 days to catch up on that. So that's good. I still have a few more days to catch up. So then I'm just going to move into the rest of my WIPs that are not related to Springo. Here is my calendar for April. So a lot of stitching. All of the pink are starts and the purples are finishes. There was only one day that I had not stitched this month because my husband and I, after work, had a date night. We went out. We went to the Strip, went to a concert. So got home really late and I wasn't able to get any stitching done. But usually I stitch pretty much every day. Okay, moving on to the rest of my WIP. I had a start and a finish since the last time I filmed, and it was from this book again, In Friendship's Way by Blackbird Designs. In January, this is the book that I had stitched some strawberries from back in January. If you remember, I stitched, let's see, which ones did I stitch? I stitched Emily Strawberry, which is this one, for my son, my older son. And I also had stitched, I think this one is called Mildred Strawberry. So I had stitched this one for myself. And I had mentioned that I still wanted to do a strawberry for my husband and my youngest. And so for my youngest, I stitched, this is my start and finish, was Leona's Strawberry. And it's tiny. So here's the finish. So I put Lucas's birth year and initials. And this is on 18 count Sleeping Bear, which this was my very last scrap. So I want to do another one for my husband. I might have to choose a different fabric, but I just absolutely loved this fabric. Sleeping Bear by Needle and Flax. It was really nice to stitch on. So I have to fully finish that. But it is a finish for now. And then, what else did I do? Oh, my temperature Quaker. This is a pattern by Stitchin' Mommy on Etsy. Okay, this is what it's gonna look like. She designs a different temperature pattern every year. A couple of years ago I did the temperature butterflies, and this year I am doing the Quaker. So this is where I'm at. This is a DMC fabric. It's a printed fabric. I think I got it at Michael's. This was the label. Just DMC Charles Craft. I don't know if it has a specific color name. I don't think it does. It just says printed Ada. But they come in different colors. You can find it at Michael's. But this is losing my needle. So January, February, March, and then I started April. So you can see like the color changes. The weather has been all over the place. It was all over the place in March, and it's been all over the place in April. It's actually been pretty cold here for this time of year. I'm not complaining because I much prefer the colds to 115 degrees. But let's see. So April 2nd was our coldest day at 61 degrees. And then on April 11th, it was 95 degrees. So within a matter of 9 days, we went up over 30 degrees. It's just been insane. And now today, like the last few days, it's been upper 60s, low 70s. So it's just constantly up and down, which is just so bizarre. Yeah. So like the blues and the greens are 60s and 70s, and then the yellows and the peaches are like the 90s and 80s. So this is through April 16th. So I still have, I have to catch up on like past 10, 12 days of stitching, but it goes pretty quick. Each day is only 10 to 15 stitches. So it goes pretty quick, and this is on a 14 count Ada, so it's very easy for me to stitch on. But I really love seeing all the different, like I just think this is so pretty with all the different colors playing out on it. So that is my temperature Quaker. And then the next one that I stitched on is the sheep pillow for my son Cameron. He loves sheep, and I purchased this pattern a couple years ago off of Hobby House. But you can actually, I recently discovered you can find this on Amazon for a lot cheaper. But this is the pillow. He really likes bighorn sheep. They didn't have a bighorn sheep. So I'm just stitching this white sheep. I'm sure he'll like it either way. It's stitched with pearl cotton, so these are the colors right here. This is how they come. And this is in a sheep bag made by Goose. The fabric is, I think it's an 8 count. Very, very huge holes. This is as far as I've gotten. So I only stitched on this once or twice more since I saw you last because I was doing Springo. But I've started, like, this is an eye socket right here and then his ear. So I stitched a lot more white, put in the gray, and then I'm moving into the ear and an eye. So this one again I really enjoy stitching on this one. Big holes, very easy to see. And I think it's only one strand of pearl cotton, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just one strand. I need to get a sheep needle minder instead of this Halloween one. But yeah, this one is fun. I really like it. It's different. I don't know how much work I am going to get on this one in the future because my son is graduating next week actually, and then he'll be home while he looks for a job. So it'll be really hard. It's supposed to be a surprise, and it'll be really hard for me to stitch on that when he's home. Every night he comes downstairs to say goodnight to me, and he likes to look at what I'm stitching. So I don't want him to see that one, and he'll be home all the time until he finds a job. So it'll be really hard for me to stitch on that while he's home and keep it a secret. So I don't know until he gets a job and is out of the house. I don't know how much progress I will be able to make on that one. Let's see, what is the next one? I guess I just have new starts, a couple of new starts, and then I'll be done. Well, and then I have a little bit of haul and some plans. So this pattern I saw on Instagram. This is by Stitchin' Mama, not to be confused with Stitching Mommy. This is Kelly Stitchin' Mama. She is local to me. She's here in Las Vegas, and she goes to the UFO club every month. But she had shared this on Instagram, and I thought this would be perfect for Cameron because he is graduating with a degree in forestry, and he loves trees and all of that. So I thought this would be really cute for me to stitch for him. So I started this one at the Stitch Club on Saturday, and I did a little bit more last night, but this is as far as I've gotten. So I think I made some really good progress on this. And it goes pretty quickly. This is on a 28 count Bestitch Me fabric called Into the Veil. It's a very pretty mottled, like very light green color. Yeah, this is a fun stitch. It's a quick, easy stitch. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm thinking of possibly leaving out the B's and spelling B just with one E. May the forest be with you. It's just something that I'm thinking about. I don't know if I'm definitely going to do that or not, but there's that one. So again, I was kind of hoping to have this done by his graduation, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have time to work on it next week. I really want to focus on the bee's knees before class. So I don't know, we'll see. But then my last new start is a market release. This is Dandelion Wishes by Robin Pickens. I just absolutely love this. This was one of my favorite releases from Market. I love this one so much. I am stitching this one on Ledger, I believe. Yes, 28 count Ledger by Bestitch Me. And this is my progress. So I've got the first flower done, and then I started on the stem. And this one is very, very fun stitch, easy, and I don't think that it's going to take too long to complete. I think I pretty much did that flower in 1 or 2 nights. And then I just have 2 smaller flowers, and then this one and the words. Although I kind of like how they did it with the pillow, so maybe I'll keep the words off. I don't know. I guess I'll decide when I get there. This is one of my absolute favorite fabrics from Be Stitch Me called Ledger. I stitched Seaside Tiny Town on this fabric, and it came out so nice. So this is my last, like I was able to stitch on the same piece of fabric. I stitched the Seaside Tiny Town, and then this is what I had left. So I probably won't have much left at all. But I was like, oh, I really need to get more of that fabric because I really like it. And then, like, the next day or 2 days later, I got an email that said she had, Randy at Be Stitch Me had some ready to ship fabrics. So I checked it out, and one of them was Ledger. So I was like, nice. So I did order another 28 count and a 20 count in the Ledger. So that is hopefully it's supposed to be ready to ship, but it hasn't shipped yet, so hopefully soon. Okay, so WIPS. Yeah, I showed all of that. Okay, so then on to plans. In May, I'm sure you've heard a lot of people will do WIP Mania, where they, not WIP Mania, Maynia, where they will start a new project every single day, or they will do some sort of variation on that. Some people might just start one project a week. But for me, that's just too much. One project a week is okay, and one new start a week is fine. But I have a lot of WIPs right now. I want to say I have maybe 43 WIPs, and for several years, my goal has been to WIP down. But instead of whipping down, I'm still whipping up instead. A couple years ago, I had like 20 something WIPs, so I feel like I've increased my WIPs by like an average of 10 a year. So I really want to bring that number down. So instead of doing a mania where you start something new, I do a WIP mania, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now, where I just work on WIPs, and I work on WIPs that are close to a finish, or that I think I can get done in less than 7 days. So I'm going to be doing that in May. I'm going to try to get as many of my WIPs finished as I can. I don't know specifically which ones that's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to plan it out, or if I'm just going to pick as I go, or whatever I feel like doing at the time. I know that I want to finish Spring Folk. That probably will only take me a couple more days. I would like to finish Topsy Turvy Tea, and I know I have several others that are less than 5 days to complete. So yeah, I guess it'll be a surprise in my next video. It'll be a surprise for you to see what I actually end up stitching on and finishing. But I also am going to have a couple of new starts. So on May 6th, I'm going to, hang on, I just have to get up for 1 second. Okay, on May 6th, I am going to start Agnes Cairns by Hemlock and Rye. This is Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. This is a reproduction sampler that she did, and this is going to be a stitch along for Karen of Fox and Rabbit for her birthday. I guess she has a big birthday coming up, and this is going to be a start along, a stitch along, starting on May 6th. So I stitch a lot of small things, and I really want to start stitching on bigger things. I want more framed pieces for my wall. I have a lot of small pillows and a lot of small little things, but I would like some big things to hang on my wall because I don't have a lot, and I really like this. I love the colors. You can't, my printer does not print in color anymore, so you can't really, this picture doesn't show you how beautiful it is, but there's a lot of reds in it, and I'm using the DMC, so 158, 932, 3362. The pattern says it calls for 2 of these skeins, so I need to get another one of those. 3733, 3866. And then there's a couple of reds, number 21 and 347, which I need to pick up more of. And then as far as fabric goes, the called for is a 40 count. I'm going to stitch it on a 20 count, and I have to audition all of these fabrics. But I need to get the other two. I might try to make a quick stop. I know my Joann's is out of the floss. They've been out of floss for like a month since the last time I went there. They were out of the floss. So I'll probably have to go to Michael's and pick up some of the missing floss, and then I'll do a floss top and choose my fabric. But I'm going to start that one on the 6th, and then on the 8th, which I did not bring it down, but I'm going to start the Ladybug from Hands On Design on May 8th, because Stitching with Sandy is stitching that for her birthday start with her friend Shelly of Key X Stitch. They're both going to be starting that one on their birthday on May 8th, so I'm going to start that with them. And I'm still trying to figure out fabrics. I meant to bring it down to share with you to kind of get your opinion. I have a light pink picked out and green. I don't have the called for pink, which I really love, but I just picked from what I have. I could potentially, maybe I might try to dye my own. I'll have to see what kind of dye I have. Maybe I can dye something to get it close to what that called for pink fabric is that the model was stitched on. But so I'm going to start that one on May 8th, and then so those will be my two new starts. And then in the one from Julie, Kansas City Girl in Colorado World, I'm probably just going to stitch on that one for that one day, just to say I started it that day, and then I probably won't be able to touch it again until June, because I really want to do this WIP Mania where I stitch on my older WIPs and try to get as many done as I can. The Ladybug is small, so I might be able to finish that in May. We'll see how that goes. And then my only other plan is I have a bunch of market releases patterns that I purchased. And instead of putting them away in my binder, filing them away and having them not see the light of day for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, I'm keeping them out, and I'm in the process of kitting all of them up. And my plan is to start one a month over the next year. So Dandelion Wishes I started in April. I'm going to start the Ladybug in May, and then I'm going to start at least one a month going forward. So that's my plan, because I don't want to, I bought them because I like them, because I want to stitch them, and I don't want to file them away in my binder to be forgotten about for who knows how long. So I really want to get started on those. And so that is it for my plans. I'm going to just go grab my few purchases, and I'll be right back. Okay, things that I have purchased in the month since I have seen you. I went to Etsy, and PNB Making Memories on Etsy. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Bob and Pam. Here is their name, PNB Making Memories on Etsy. I had shared with you a while ago that I had purchased one of those frames for Mill Hill kits. It said Sin City Cross Stitcher on it, and I needed a bigger one, so I ordered this one. So the good thing with this company is you can have it personalized, so you can have whatever you want etched in there. So the last one I did, Sin City Cross Stitcher. This one is, I did like trees and snowflakes. I had a really hard time trying to decide what I wanted them to put on this one. But I had purchased this from them. This is a bell pull, and I am working on I think it's called Festive Sampler by Karen Kluba of Rosewood Manor, and it's a banner style, and I thought it would look really good on this. So I ordered this from the P&B Making Memories, and I just had them, I asked them if they could just put maybe some trees and some of the snowflakes from this and put it on this. So that's what they did. So I'm very excited to have this for some of my larger Mill Hill kits. And they're really good, nice people, great customer service. I will link it below in the description if you want to go check them out. They have all kinds of things, needle minders, they have all different kinds of wooden products. I forgot what else, but yeah, definitely go check them out. They have a lot of different things. I got my fabric of the month from Bestitch Me. This is a 32 count Portobello. I'm not gonna get the 32 count anymore, and I'm probably going to pause. I hate to do it. I know I said I wasn't going to, like I was going to get this fabric forever, but oh, this is kind of like it's like a purple, but it's not really coming across very well. But yeah, I do have a lot of fabric, but I hate to pause it because I have like a fear of missing out. I like seeing what different color we're gonna get. I ordered these off of Amazon. I am trying to, I like when I have a big project that takes me a long time to do, I like putting my floss on floss drops. And but I have a master set that I keep in floss away bags, and it's in boxes. Here, let me grab one. So I store my floss in these boxes, these magnetic boxes, and in floss away bags in numerical order. I don't know if you can see that. So these I have 4 of these boxes because I have a lot of DMC, and these are all, this is my master set. So this is what I pull from when I kit projects up, and then I put them back. I have a basket, and once I finish a project, I throw all the stuff in the basket, and then every few months I go and I put them back in my master set, the master boxes. But I like to put my long-term projects on floss drops. And when I'm done, then I put the floss drops in the floss away bags for the corresponding color. But then I end up with like a ton of different floss drops. So I'm trying to find one universal style floss drop that I like, that I can use for all of them. Even though I really love, the pretty, floss drops from, I forgot the name. There's someone who makes really, there's a lot of people that make a lot of nice ones, but I have different style floss drops from like retreats when people give you they give you floss cards, or different people on Etsy sell fancy ones with really pretty vintage scenes on them. I've got some Adam Hart, the like acrylic floss drops. So I have a bunch of different kinds of floss drops, and I'm trying to find a universal one that I can use. So I did order these. These are like a wooden floss drop from Amazon. And I guess you'd just write, or you could do stickers, put the number on there. So I thought that these would be good. The only problem is I can't stand the way that they feel. This reminds me of, do you remember going to the doctor and they would, ugh, just give me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. But the tongue depressors, oh, that was so disgusting. So that's what this feels like. So I'm like, I'm not going to be able to touch those every day. So I don't know if maybe if I paint them, if that will change the texture. I'm not sure. But I did buy those because I thought, you know, I'm trying to stay away from plastic as much as possible, even though I have all of those floss away bags. I've had that system since the 90s, but um, I want to try to cut back on the amount of plastic that I use, that I purchase. So I thought that these would be good because they're wood, but they just feel really, ugh, makes me want to gag just thinking about it. Um, so let's see, what else did I get here? Okay, so I did get my Spring Punch Needle and Prunus Stitcher magazine. And I also got my Spring Just Cross Stitch magazine. I made an order from Abby Top Knot. I got the night garden. Well, I already had the flosses. I got the flosses from Jessica at Silver State Stitch Shop, but from Abby I bought the floss drop. You know what this? I forgot, what is this called? Floss card. Because it was made for these flosses. And then I also bought from Abby, she has all or most, I guess, of the night garden charts if you're looking for any. So I did purchase the night owl from her, and I purchased from Ink Circles the forget-me-nots. And I also have Tiny Modernist, the moon. So I want to stitch all three of those, and then I will see what I have left of the floss and stitch more, purchase more if I feel the need. But I did get the freebie from Blue Flower that I also would like to stitch with those flosses. And then also from Abby, I purchased this cute little sheep. This is going to be one of my 3D finishes at some point this year, but I thought, I didn't realize, but this whole sheep is, you make the whole thing. So the sheep is actually cross stitched. And then it's all one piece. So it kind of looks like this sits on top, but it's all one piece. The fringe is actually like stitched on there, using some kind of specialty stitch or something. So that's going to be really different and fun. I look forward to stitching that one. And I don't think there's like a whole lot of stitching in it. So, well, maybe there is, because there is that whole sheep. There's a lot of, see all the swirlies on the sheep, and it's like that on both sides. So anyway, that's cute. I thought it was really cute, so I grabbed that. I think that was a market release. It's from Cotton Pixels. And then I placed an order from Lindy Stitches. I purchased that Dandelion Wishes chart. She was the only one who had it that I could find. You know, everybody else was sold out. So I got that from her and a couple of flosses that I needed. And then I also purchased this from Lindy Stitches. So cute. It's a Scully Thread Keep. Thread Keep, that's what it's called. That Night Garden. This is by Willoughby Ann. So cute. That'll be good for a Halloween project. And then I bought some needles from Stephanie. I keep hearing about these pony black needles, so I purchased those to give those a try. And she also has these tulip needles. I guess these are made in Japan, so I got those to try as well. And I think that's it for my purchases. Not too bad for a month. I did my last video. I did tell you about Saltbox Needleworks in Florida. They're an online shop, and I guess somebody in their family is having medical issues, and they're trying to sell off all of their stock. So they were having a 25% off sale, and then I got an email saying that it was down to 35% off, and I didn't need any more patterns. I have so many patterns right now, but I did end up buying some fancy floss that I needed to kit up some projects, and I bought quite a few NPIs. I've only stitched with NPIs once. when I'm filming in my craft room, there's a sampler behind me that has my name on it, and I stitched that all in MPI, and I really enjoyed it, but I'm too frugal to spend $5 on a skein of floss. But they were having 35% off, so I bought, I don't know, maybe 10 of their, I was trying to kit up a couple of Kathy Barrick Carriage House Samplings projects that call for MPI, and I mean, I could do the DMC conversion, but I mean, 35% off, I couldn't not buy the MPIs. So I was able to get some of the called for, and not all of them, but I can probably substitute DMC for the rest. So I did purchase some MPIs from them. Yeah, I guess that is all for my purchases. Okay, so I am at an hour and 10 minutes, so I'm going to try to wrap this up. But I just wanted to say in about 2 weeks is going to be my 1 year Flosstube anniversary, which is just mind-boggling to me. It took me 3 years to get up the courage just to start this Flosstube, and the fact that I stuck with it for a year, it's just like crazy. It went by so fast. But I do want to have, I know I said I wasn't going to do a giveaway until I reached 1,000 subscribers, but at this point, I don't know that that's ever going to happen. So I do want to do a giveaway for my 1 year Flosstube anniversary. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I would like to try to make a project bag. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time over the next couple of weeks. I mean, this coming weekend is the spring mingle, and then the weekend after that, my son graduates college. So I don't know that I'm actually going to have time to do that. But if not, there will probably be some patterns or something. So keep an eye out for my next video. I think I filmed my very first video on Mother's Day last year. So that's coming up in about 2 weeks. So keep an eye out for my next video, and there will be a giveaway. And yeah, I think that just about covers everything. So thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all again in I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. I would like to try to come back for my on my anniversary, so Mother's Day. But that's 2 weeks, so we'll see how much stitching I can get done. And yeah, I think I will be home. My son graduates on Fridays, and then we're gonna come home that night. So I will be home that weekend, but hopefully I can. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll see you when I see you. That's basically how it goes with me. So I'll talk to you all later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.